right. So, first question of the day. What is my name in Squadcast referencing?
Um, I don't. I know it. It's The Outsiders.
Correct. The
It's a
Outsiders.
book.
There's some English literature for everybody.
Yeah, I remember reading it in school.
Stay golden, pony boy.
Yeah, I wish I could say that I retained the meaning behind it, but I
Uh,
honestly
I have no
couldn't tell you
idea.
the
I
first.
just remember
All I
that
remember is
sentence.
about like a bunch of greasers who are like,
The
we are not
Greasers.
like everyone else. We're the titular outsiders. I think I can't really remember. Maybe that was a red herring. Anyway, they're they're not like the other girls, and and I literally can't remember the rest of the story. But one of them dies, and it's sad, and that's what he says.
Did you
Old
just
mate.
spoil the Outsiders for everybody?
Oh, I didn't say whom. Oh, except for the fact that I did. No, if you haven't read The Outsiders,
English literature ruined for thousands and thousands.
I would say millions of people.
You reckon we're going to have a million people listen to this?
We already do. They just
I've
don't know
listened
it
to it 1 million times already.
yet. Yeah.
And it upsets me every
Look at
time.
It's like,
Wait,
fucking
which
why
one
did he-
dies?
Why did he spoil it?
Why did he spoil it again? Everybody,
Oh,
welcome to episode 1 of the HamBoys podcast.
yes, welcome. If you haven't already listened to episode 0, you should probably stop and go listen to that.
Alright,
Right.
today we're going to be reviewing the album Discoveries by Northlane. A old favourite of both Owen's and mine. One album that I believe we both know from top to bottom and bottom to top.
Yeah. That's why we picked it out
And
first, effectively.
a good test run for our episode 1.
Yeah.
A
We'll
little
get
bit of
there.
fun facts. Northlane was formed in 2009. That was a whopping... How many
10
years
years
is
ago.
that? Huh?
Fuck. What am I saying?
What?
20.
12, 22?
12 years ago.
12 years ago. That's a whopping 12 years ago. Holy moly, that is a long time. That's a long ass time. They originated from Sydney, which means they're true blue Australian cowboys.
Aussie battlers.
Their genre is metalcore. They are very gent inspired, which is written here in our notes.
That you're really obviously reading from.
What do you mean? I'm not reading from my notes.
Hang on, can I just stop already? I'm having a tangent, but it's a funny one. Do you remember when we played in our band on the main street?
Yes.
And we wrote that song. Well, Steve wrote the song, but I wrote
We
the
played
lyrics
the
because
song.
BK's like, oh, I don't want to write any lyrics, and so I wrote the lyrics and I gave them to him. He's like, yep, cool. And because he didn't know the lyrics to our own song, he just read them off his phone while he's
Yes,
performing.
I
So he's
remember
like,
that.
yeah.
Just sat there screaming while he was
Oh,
reading it.
man.
It was so
Brilliant.
good. All right.
Sorry, do go on.
No,
Continue to read
you
off
take
the
it
phone.
away.
There's no
Read
shame.
on for a little bit.
So they play metalcore, like Aussie metalcore, sort of typical Aussie metalcore, bit different, with a real gent inspiration. And then this changed a lot. I think it was 2015. I'm not 100% sure. 2016? I don't know. It changed a lot when they transitioned from their vocalist Adrian Fitzpatrick, who I just have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Transitioned from Adrian to Marcus Bridge. They sort of adopted a bit more of a progressive, alternative, contemporary sound. I have mixed feelings about it. Most of them bad, but I'm open-minded and haven't hated everything I've heard from Marcus, but also haven't loved everything, which we can talk about at some point.
I'm not going to comment. Currently, it is the same band minus Marcus Bridge, and it had Adrian, and it had Simon
Simon on bass.
on the bass. Last names? Don't ask. I don't make you spell my last name. There
No
you
one
go.
should. Tell us more about the album itself.
Oh,
Like, when was it released?
let me read my notes. Hang on.
Stop reading them so intently.
But I can't read that far. I'm not wearing my glasses. So this album actually
It's
charted
hard to hear.
85 on the Aries, which I didn't know. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool, huh?
That's pretty cool for a metalcore band of what, 2009?
Yeah. Well, the album was 2011
Yeah,
release, but
but still, like,
like
that's what, two
nowadays
years
it's a
after
little
they
bit
started.
more.
In
Yeah,
2 years
and
of them
nowadays,
playing metalcore, which they love to do, by the way, they hit
yeah,
80,
yeah, that's right.
85 on the Aries. That's crazy.
With their debut album, like, and
Yeah, that's insane.
you know,
That's actually insane.
it's a pretty good thing for metal, like Australian metal, because nowadays it's a lot more well accepted, I guess, for want of a better description, in mainstream media and mainstream zeitgeist. But
Yeah.
back then it was definitely an outlier. So that's cool. It's really cool.
That's mad. Like, honestly, that's crazy for them. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not surprised at all.
No,
Discovery's,
great.
the album that we're reviewing, is down packed. Still something I listen to this day, till this day, and go, what an incredible mix. Like, what an incredible composition of music. Like, just every song, it's in its entirety is incredible.
We'll get
So,
into it.
yeah, we
We'll
will
discuss
get
it
into
in
it.
great length.
I don't have any other fun facts about the album.
I have
Owen
a
has
fun
one
fact
fun fact by the look on our
that I
notes here
copied off
about the album
Wikipedia.
cover.
The album cover, which I'll put up on the screen now if you're watching on video,
This
is
one.
yeah is an image taken by the Hubble Space Telescope, which probably comes as a surprise to no one who's ever looked at a picture of a nebula.
But it's cool,
Which is
and
what
Owen
it
thinks
is.
it's cool
Yeah, it's
because
cool.
Owen likes science and stuff.
Oh yes, yeah, I think that's good.
Very cool. All right,
So let's get into the
all
review.
right, let's do it.
First song, number one, Dispossession.
All right.
So,
I guess at this point you play the little intro.
I'm going to cut you out saying that. Or I'm going to leave that in.
And now the real rendition. And now the real.
Rating out of 10, Paul, what do you think of Dispossession, the opening song on
You go
Discoveries? Alright. Personally, I think I find it to be an 8 out of 10. I remember the first time I heard it, it was just... I discussed in like episode 0 about how like, you know, this kind of like any kind of alternative heavy music was starting to like blow my mind. Like I didn't know you could do this kind of shit with music. It was fucking awesome. And this was like a rebirth of that. The first time I heard it, I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, it was just...
In a good way.
In a good way, yeah.
In
like,
a
I heard
real
it.
good way. Yeah.
You know who showed me it? Hamster. Jack.
Oh, Jack.
He showed me it. Yeah, he showed me. He's like, listen to this. I'm like, righto.
Of course
And I was
he
like,
did.
Yeah, big stand. And like, oh my god, yeah, I was just like, what the hell? Like,
Insane.
I think at first I did not like it or anything. I just didn't quite know what I was listening to. And then BK showed me it next time because I think he'd seen him open for Parkway, and I was like, it's that song again with the weird guitar at the start, like the weird clean guitars, and I was like, this is fucking wicked, man. I don't know, I loved it, and that's always stuck in my head.
Mad. That's
But
crazy.
in general, it's just got everything like you could
A metalcore song
want
should have.
with a metalcore song. Yeah, like it's got.
Yeah.
I mean, it just comes out of the gates really hard, which is awesome. I'm all about.
Yeah,
And,
it slaps
and
right
it's got
from the
the widdly
start.
widdly at the start, and then
Sorry? The Dwiddly Widdly.
widdly widdly, widdly widdly, and it's like the Ned
That was
Flanders.
really fast.
And it's got and then it's got like a soft bit in the middle, and then it builds up, and then it's got this disgusting breakdown at the end that makes you go. I was
Yeah, it makes
scratching
you
up my
stank
face
face.
just now.
Just straight
for
up,
those
just-
who are just listening.
Just
But
stank
yeah, the
face.
stank face. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Like so much. So, and then I don't know. Tell me what you think.
Well, so I've listened to this album a whopping total of...
Like you know.
Actually, can Spotify tell you that?
Spotify probably can, but then think about every time you're listening to it, like on YouTube or iTunes.
All right. Well, I've never listened to it on. Well, actually, that's a lie. I've listened to
I've
this
bought it
album.
on iTunes.
I'd say thousands of times by now. Easily thousands of
Yeah,
times.
probably me too. Yeah.
It'd be over 1,000
Or
times. All right. That's
oh
a
no,
lot of
actually,
times, but I've
yeah,
listened to it.
that's no, it's
And
a few, at least hundreds.
shut
We'll
up.
go with that. That's a safe bet.
I'd say like 10 hundreds, maybe at least. Um, yeah, yeah, close to that. Um, no, this out of the entire album, I actually like Disposition possibly the least. It's a fantastic song, and I rate it highly for what it is itself. But I actually I get bored of it because the intro and the start of the song I've heard it more than any other song on the
Right.
album.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
every
I
time I
get you.
turn the album on, it's the first one that comes up, and because it hits you with that straight up riff, you just every time I hear it and I have to leave it on, and I'm like, God, this song. I'm just like, go to one of the others. I want to
And it's
hear a
because you go
random
to
one.
listen to the album and you might not always make it all the way through.
That's
So
right.
you're
So
always hearing that song.
that's right. And I'm
Yeah,
always
I
hearing it. Doesn't
understand.
matter how many times I listen to the album. And I do this thing where I listen to an album from start to finish. I barely ever shuffle it
Most people should,
unless
I think. It's a
now I
lost art.
shuffle it. Now I shuffle it
Not
because
the album,
Spotify
I
made
bet.
it easy to shuffle. But back in the day on my MP3 player or my MP4 player at that point in time, I wasn't shuffling shit.
Shuffle. You don't shuffle albums, though, do you? Because if you do, we're going to have to stop this podcast right here and now.
Now I do. I shuffle albums, but
Oh,
only
that's
after I've listened to them a
disgusting.
million times. And as long as they don't like flow into each other, each song. If they do
Doesn't
that,
matter.
I don't. No, or I'm gonna rate it, and I've written down here a 7 out of 10, but I'm actually gonna rate it a 6 out of 10. Out of the entire album, it's a 6 out of 10 for me. Maybe controversial,
You're entitled to
but
your
my
opinion.
simple music is
Opinion's
subjective.
wrong.
Music is subjective, and
Music
I
is subjective.
believe it is a 6. And only because I've heard it more than every other song on the album.
Do you
And you
think?
know when you hear a song like a million times in the car on a drive because you got a kid in the car that wants to hear that song, or you've got a wife in the car that doesn't like to listen to anything besides Taylor Swift? That's what this song is for me. It's
Shout out
still
to
a good
Alia.
song. Shout outs to Alia. She's not
Shout
coming
out
in.
to her, right?
Alia. Um, however, that's nothing to do with the song itself. That's to do with my feelings towards the song. The song itself is easily a 9. Like
Okay.
incredible.
That's you've already
My
got
rating
the
for that
interesting
song is a
point,
6,
you know.
but that
That
song itself is a 9. If that makes sense.
the way you feel about a song can mean a lot more than how
The way you,
objectively, which is a hard
yeah.
thing to quantify
That's
how good
why
a song.
music is subjective. We all
Yeah,
feel different
totally.
ways about whatever we feel, and that's cool. That's cool. Doesn't mean you have to be right all the time, Owen. But
That's
hey,
me, right all the time.
right all the time. Fucking always right all the time.
Final words about the song.
Bad disposition.
So, yeah, just summarize it. In a couple
Um,
words. What you want to say?
as per the whole album, and you'll probably hear me say this quite a lot. The reason why I like this album is because it opened my eyes up to how creative heavy metal could be. It really opened my eyes up to how complicated and how creative and how like they all mean the same thing, but honestly, in each element they mean a different thing. How complex as well this just music can be. It doesn't matter if it's metal or whether it's jazz or whether it's what's the important one that everybody talks about? Classical. That one, classical. Uh, no, but
I know what you're trying
pop,
to say.
pop. No, but it's complicated. You know, I honestly regard this. I regard Disposition as Discoveries as an album,
I'm
probably
talking
as
about
highly as I
this song,
regard somebody like Buck.
concluding marks.
Hey?
I'm talking about this song.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
concluding remarks of this song.
I know, but I'm gonna say this for every song because this album means so
Oh, okay,
much to
gotcha.
me in
Yeah,
that sense. Every song is like that for me. This is my least favorite song, and you can see how passionate I am about this fucking album.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Straight up, there you go.
Well,
Actually, first time I heard the song, I went to the gym after hours with Owen and Brandon, one of our friends, and they let me in. It was about 11 p.m.
listen to Wardy's gym.
It was at Wardy's gym, and you
Shout
guys
out
have
to
let me
Wardy.
into the gym. Back age, shout outs to Wardy. Shout outs to
We already did one
sponsored by
casual visit.
Wardy's Fitness. Um, shout outs to Wardy. Um, they let me into the gym. They just let me in. They told me the code, and they were in there, and they just opened the door, and I came in, and they were like, "Check this out." And no joke, we smashed this song. It was incredible, and the whole album. And I was sitting there like, I've never heard anything like this.
Yeah.
I've never heard any metal like
That's
this.
literally exactly how I felt. The same, yeah. It's good to
And
know that like
to this day,
transcends our minds that
to
way.
this day, it's still one album and one song that is not like any other metal out there. A lot of
Yeah,
metal I feel
totally.
that has come out now has been inspired by this album. Either way,
Yeah.
all right. That's my final remarks on Disposition. I talked about the
I
album,
was just
not the
gonna say
song,
it's got a
because the song
wicked
is
fucking
not that
breakdown
great.
at the end.
It's got an amazing breakdown at the end.
So that's all I
Wow.
gotta say.
If you like breakdowns, listen to
That's
this
it.
album. The end
Look
of the
up
song,
breakdown in a dictionary, and that's this song plays
it just says
out of the
Disposition
dictionary.
2.53.
Yeah.
That's a
Right.
timestamp, by the way. Not that I know that that's the actual timestamp.
2.53. That would be like a little quiet bit. I don't know.
Just check it out.
Song 2? Not by
Yeah,
Blur.
let's do it. All right.
Song 2 on Discoveries. Abra Sumente.
Abrasumente. I don't know the rest of the words because
It's Spanish. We'll get into that. Rating out of 10?
I've rated Abrasumente as an 8 out of 10. Happily. The song is... Ooh. They hit some really nice singing and nice cleans in it. And let's say... What do you reckon? What year did we listen to this?
Uh,
15?
no, I reckon.
13?
Well, the first time I heard Dispossession was 2012 because I was in year 12.
Okay. So
So
let's say 13, 12,
2013,
2012, 2013. Around that time, it was really, really hard to find a metal album or a metal song that had really good cleans, singing, and really good heaviness, thickness, like power to it.
yeah,
It was so hard to find that. That wasn't a thing. You could either have like
I was fussy
As I
about
Lay
that back in
Dying,
the day
sort
too.
of like digga 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 digga, like,
Yeah,
and then you could have like who's that band?
like,
I
you mean like
not I Prevail. Oh, like something the Veil or something like that.
Pierce the Veil?
Pierce the Veil.
I get what you mean. Yeah, like
And
you're
the
going
other
from
one,
like
the
this,
other one that everyone went crazy for,
Sleeping with Sirens,
Sleeping with Sirens. That's
Yeah.
it. And it was just
who I'm not
like
a
this
fan of. I can't
chunky,
sort of-
good music, but it was these cleans that you're just like, it's just like a girly,
Yeah, Pierce the Veil's not
not
too
a
bad for
girly. I
that.
shouldn't say
Sleeping
girly.
with
It's not the
Sirens
right
knew
word.
exactly what they were doing. Pierce the
They were
Veil,
catering to that
less so-
market. They were catering
oh
to the
yeah,
scene
100%.
market. But Abrasumente, they just hit these vocals. They just hit these cleans that were so cool, and just like this great pitch and this great voice, and it worked with how like complicated, complex, and filthy the actual music was. And I say filthy in a good way. It was great. It was a great contrast. It was this great composition. It was insane. And
Yeah,
once again, they just because I'm saying they had some cleans in it doesn't mean they stopped and
Never
didn't let
is a
any
bad thing.
heavy in there. It was heavy. They're all heavy. The
Yeah,
song was insane. So
yeah, wicked.
very, very happy about this one.
I give
Um,
it a 7 out of 10.
oh yeah,
Uh, pretty virtually the same reasons. Like it's, I think one of the things that always catches me is that big growl at the start.
yeah,
We,
right off the
oh,
back.
Jesus, I tell you that it's the brown note, mate. It's
Yeah,
bloody good.
disposition ends, and then you're like,
You're just like, wow, what was that? And then you don't have a
pardon?
second to breathe
Yeah,
because then it's
and
just,
they just go wild.
well, I can't do it. But
Mm,
we get BK to do it. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, on top of that, right at the start of that first verse, he jumps a lot between highs and lows, which is just cool to hear, you know.
mm.
And then, like, I think lyrically, this is probably one of the most Northlane songs because it's
I
got
just read, I just read your note here about disposition, and it says, "Such edge, I will never know."
what? Did I say that?
No, I wrote that. Such edge,
but in
I will never know. Sorry, keep going.
it's Abrasamenta, the "Free Your Mind" lyric
Mm,
is very
yeah,
Northlane.
it's so
I mean,
North Lane.
they named one of their tours that I think it was like a Singularity
That's
tour.
right.
They named
And
Free Mind.
it's that stop and still, and it's just like, dun, 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 free your
Free
mind.
Mind. Yeah,
Dun, 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 dun,
it's
and it's just like,
good, man. It's quintessential
free your
Northlane.
mind. It's just like
Literally, it's
powerful.
when you think Northlane, it's one of the first things I think of.
Yeah, yeah. Free your
Um,
mind. Throw my yogurt into the air.
And then the name of the song, Abrasamenta, which is actually like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. Oh no, Abrasamenta is 3 words, but it's this lyric Abrasamenta a la realidad, yeah, which is translates from Spanish to English. I don't know if they meant to go for the Latin angle, but it's in Spanish to English. It's open your mind to reality. How nice! Isn't that
That's
really?
hectic.
Isn't that
So
a
it's
fun
Spanish
little
or it's
anecdote?
Latin?
Well, you know, it's very like Spanish. Spanish has got Latin roots. So anyway, this is not
So
a
I'm guessing it's
linguistics
Spanish.
this podcast. It's a beer
Right.
podcast.
We don't. Welcome back to the beer podcast, where beers are gone and all there is music. Stay woke is your final comment.
Yeah, stay woke.
Free your mind, guys. Free your mind.
Stay woke. Open your mind to reality. That's my final comment.
Stay woke.
Song 3, Comatose.
Now, this is one of my favorites. However, I've given it a lower score. I'm going to let you take it away because I started off the last one.
Alright. So I gave this one a 7 out of 10 as well. I mean, like musically, it's a cool song. I do love it. But what sticks out to me with this song is the lyrics. Like I feel like you know those moments where you just like stare into space or up at the sky, and you just let your mind start turning, and nothing else exists except your thoughts. Please say you're relating to this in some way, shape, or form.
I
And
have
then,
no idea what you're talking about, man.
well, I'm doing my PhD in ecological research, right? And ecology, what attracts me to ecology is just how complex and interconnected everything is in ways that we can try and quantify but never probably will truly understand. And I think there's an inherent beauty in that. And this song sort of reminds me of those feelings where I'm like, I don't know, just like completely just staring up into nothing and thinking about how interconnected everything is biotically and abiotically on this planet and how it all functions like one perfect machine. I don't know. I can't put it into words properly, which is bloody stupid because it's my whole career.
Maybe,
But
maybe you can't see what your eyes can't see, and you
I
can't
can't see
hear
what
what your ears cannot hear, and you can't feel what your heart and mind cannot feel.
because
Your
that is
imagination.
yes.
You are imagination.
It's just some of the most poetic lyrics on the whole album for me. So it really sits with me poetically and musically too, but mostly poetically. You said you didn't give it a high rating despite enjoying it.
No, let me grab my notes. How much does that tick you off that I grab my notes?
I get
How much does it tick you off that I state that I grab my notes?
jump through the screen, knock you right off your camp chair.
Fun fact: Owen and I had a band once, and one of our songs was called, what is it? Paul, you fell off your chair or something like that.
Oh, hey Paul, where's your chair?
Hey Paul, where's your chair? Because one time as we were playing. I'm a drummer. I was the drummer for our band. I fell off the pallets that we had my drum kit on, off the back, and I got stuck, and they had to come and help me. And we named the song after that because we were immature. Much like most of their songs in this album, they fill each sort of section of the song, whether it be, the chorus, their verses, just with such movement. I think Comatose, like all of their songs have it, but I think Comatose was one that pointed it out for me because it had such big stop and starts, but being sort of heavy the whole way through. Even though they didn't go from cleans to clean riff to heavy, or cleans to heavy to clean riff to breakdown, and just changed it up. Obviously, I'm making it sound a little bit more simple. Comatose was, I guess, the first song in order of the album as I listened to it that was pretty much heavy the whole way through. There's no cleans.
Yeah.
It's just strength the whole way through. It's just power through in the song. And yeah, that's sort of what I pick up by it. And as a drummer, I listen to the drumming, and the drumming is non-stop. But even in saying that, even though it's go, go, go throughout the song, for me, at least, it has these really cool contrasts again, but while being heavy, while keeping to its strength, while keeping to being a gent and metalcore song. So I really like that about it. I did rate it a 6 because I rated it a 6 because I probably would have rated it higher when I was a bit younger and was listening to it. It was one of my favorite songs on the album. But I think as I'm older and I'm starting to listen to more music, I'm starting to appreciate that variety a bit more. That jumping out of your comfort zone into something different, jumping out of your comfort zone and creating a podcast. Jumping out of your comfort zone and trying something new for once in your life. And I see that through music. So in this song, it's very its own. It's got a lot of contrast, but it doesn't jump out of its comfort zone. It just stays in it, and I rated it a 6 because of that, I guess.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah?
A really mature attitude, Paul.
I'm a really mature man.
Barbie. Damn, that's a nice cat.
He gave us a greasy.
Yeah, he was just like, Paul, you were talking so much shit.
For the persons in the podcast, Arby is Owen's cat, and he is behind him, sleeping, licking his ass on the bed.
It's his tail.
It's his ass. In a man,
It's attached to his ass.
your tail is your coccyx bone. In a cat, your tail is your coccyx bone.
But long boy.
A long boy coccyx bone. All right, now we get into one of my favorite songs on the album.
Song number 4, me too. Transcending Dimensions.
This song's very good.
My rating first.
You start first. Actually,
It's
I
an
think
8
it's
out
my
of
turn
10.
to start first, but you start first. Go on. What's your rating?
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
Just straight up, because I haven't written mine in here, so you don't know what mine is.
Good. I want to keep it that way
Yeah.
in the future.
Obviously, this time we're sharing
But who
documents,
cares?
but next time.
I'm trying to just ignore your notes. I'm like, I didn't see it. It's like a spoiler.
Yeah, I read.
But I give it 8 out of 10. It's
So, keep going.
seriously one of my favorites on the album from a musical perspective.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think, it's a friggin' awesome song the whole way through, but it's the build up right at the end. Like when he's just like, so if you want to run away, I can take you to, and it's like, it just, oh my god, like the way it just starts building up, like emotionally, like the feel of it, not just.
It really is like.
And then it comes to this
build up to a
crescendo,
breakdown.
like this climax with that weird like staccato cut of his scream, and then this disgusting breakdown at the end. Oh, that is what I want to hear.
It's a
metalcore album.
bellissimo.
I love that shit.
It's
love it, man.
It's a baby.
I
It's
used
so
to like
beautiful.
when I wasn't if I wasn't listening to this album the whole way through, and I was just picking a song. This is like typically the song I'd be like, oh, boom, I love that song. Let's go, put it on.
You know what I love
yeah.
most about this song is the really fast bit right in the middle.
Oh,
yeah, that's it. That's my favorite part.
That
about
also
the whole
is
song.
one of my favorite bits.
Yeah, because everything else is so like
Yeah,
like
it
big
sticks
and
out
wild,
like a
and then they're
like
just
a sore
like
thumb, doesn't it?
and it's just like really poppy and like, ooh,
Yeah.
I love it. It just breaks it up
Oh,
so much.
I sort of forgot about
And
that.
you're right. It does have a really great build to it. The whole song has a really great build to it. But yeah, I really like that small bit in it. It just makes me very happy.
It makes my mind boggle how they would have written this song. Like how, because like they would have written that riff and been like, "Oh yeah, wicked, that's cool."
Oh, we'll
that."
just stick it
And
in
then,
here,
like,
won't we?
They got this song that's got like this really raw, emotional, musically and lyrically at the end, and they're like, "We should put that funky ass riff in the middle of that song."
Yeah, exactly right. They're like,
'Cause
hey,
we're Northlane and we don't really follow the rules very much right now.
only in Comatose.
Yeah, it's the only song that follows the rules of metalcore. Sorry,
And
I
the end.
interrupted you.
So I rate this one an 8 out of 10 as well. Yeah, it's a very good song. It's just like all round, never upset to hear it, and
Yeah.
like the end as well. I agree that progression, that like build up is so good.
Yeah.
And then it's so slow, and it's just like this cool, slow, big breakdown, and his vocals. Oh, we haven't even gotten into Adrian's vocals. I think.
Yeah.
a
Well, do you
big
want to discuss
reason-
that right now?
Yeah, I think a big reason why we like Northlane is because his vocals were so, like his lows were so low and so airy and so
anyone
unique.
knows
They were
what-
just unique.
Yeah. Oh my god.
They were unique, and that was it. They were unique and good, and I don't think I've heard another vocalist hit the lows like Adrian's.
Consistently. Well,
Yeah, consistently.
It might have come at a toll because I think part of the what came out of why he quit Northlane. I think he's pretty candid about it straight off the rip. But
He busted his vocals.
yeah, he cooked them, and like
Yeah,
it makes
he
sense
busted
when you
his
listen to the
vocals.
guy.
And
Like,
I don't think that was
maybe
because of
not
his
so
lows,
many
though. I don't think it
Yeah.
was because of his lows. I think it was because of
I
his
think it's
highs.
because of
Because
his
he did a
highs.
lot of like false chord and fry with a lot of without a lot of training, and
Yeah, well,
That
he,
stuff's-
he gave it like 100%.
he gave it 100% all the way through,
When-
and it sounded great.
When I
At
did
least
that,
the way they mixed it and the way he sounded great. However, it's a dangerous route unless you properly training yourself and working on it, as we've been taught. You know, Owen's done Owen's done a vocal class with
I did that.
CJ
McMahon.
from Thy Art Is
One
Murder,
of the things he said is
and yeah,
if you're performing, like even if it's live or recorded or whatever your 100% is, don't do that. do
don't
70%.
do it because you're going to push your vocals,
Yeah,
your vocal
because
range
you'll
way
still
too
sound
far.
good, don't worry about it.
You
But
don't
just
need
don't
to
hurt
you don't need to
yourself.
blow it out because if you go 100%, you muck it up. It's way worse. Either way, we're not talking about his downfall. We're talking about his strengths right now in transcending dimensions. This song,
Yeah.
very good vocals. Like
8
the
out of 10 all around.
slow and depth of the breakdowns and the slow and the depth of the verses just works so well with his vocals. So nice
Sorry, I
mic
just
cut right for a
tried to
second
mute
there.
the mic because that was a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
cough.
that was a big cough.
The
That was
Roni.
a big coffee boy. All right, let's go on to the next one. Hey, this
Some
beer is
five,
very
Paul.
good.
I'm out. I have a cider in the fridge. Maybe I should take a quick break and go and get it.
I'm onto the maker's mark after this. If I'm going to keep drinking, give me some boobs. All right, I'm gonna hit up first with Discoveries.
The titular song on the album, Discoveries.
Discoveries is, fun fact, my favourite song on the album. It is album titled.
That
Yes, it is. It is
comes
album titled
as a
Discoveries.
shock, but a welcome one.
Discoveries. So this is an instrumental song. This one. This song has been something that I've held on to since I heard it. I've listened to it probably more than any other song on the album. It is one song that I listen to whenever I have something important coming up in my life. I put this song on and listen to it the whole way through and let it build up to let it build me up. And I get ready for things. I used to work at a cafe and I loved my job and I loved my coworkers, but I hated my life. So I used to listen to this song in the morning before I started work. I would get to work a fraction earlier, and even if I got there on time that I was meant to be there, I'd pull up and I'd sit in my car for 5 minutes and listen to this song to get myself in the headset to go and do whatever it is that I had to do. This song has got me ready for everything. So this song in the album is a 10 out of 10 for me. I could listen to it today, tomorrow, or for the next 10 years, and I don't think I'd ever get bored of this song.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
Man, I had no idea that
This song
that was
and
how you felt about
it
this
has
song.
nothing to do with the fact there's no vocals. It's just the way and the progression of this song.
Such a good song.
It's just flawless. You could add vocals to it and it would still be incredible. Like, but you take away from the
But
fact.
I don't think you should. I think
You
it's
take
better as it
away.
is. Well, very good as it is.
It's very good. You take away from the progression of the song, and I think that stands out more than anything for me. So
Wow.
yeah,
Oh, well,
yeah. Top that, bitch.
No, I can't. There's no way because, like, I mean, I love this song, but like, it's not a 10 out of 10 for me. It's a 7 out of 10, in fact.
It's
Which
the
is not
fucking
to
best
say
number,
anything
but
bad
the
about
worst
the song.
score.
No, it's great. I love it. It's just maybe It's funny because after what you just described, I feel like maybe I should
Listen to it.
maybe try and employ what you've done. Like when I've got like a big decision to make, or I've just got a day that I'm not 100% on facing, like play Discoveries and just.
I'll give you another song that is very similar in attitude,
Singularity?
but not the same. No, it's not Singularity. It's Kansas by The Devil Wears Prada.
Yes,
It's another song that does
vibes.
the same sort of thing, being an instrumental in the middle of an album, and it's just
It
got
sort of
this
starts very quiet.
particular moment, and it's separate from the rest of the album.
I know, yeah.
But it is the album, but it's separate. It's a whole different thing. That's what this song does. It's like what do you call it in the middle of a show? Like is it an
It's the
interlude?
intermission.
The intermission.
Oh,
It's the interlude. Without being an interlude, it's an interlude to the album.
Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible. Beautiful. Amazing.
wow. I was going to really cheapen it by saying that it perfectly complements the trope of there being a quiet song in a metalcore album, which is like,
Oh,
I mean,
but it is so much more.
I have a good idea for future podcasts.
Don't hurt
Like, it
yourself.
could be an awful idea, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Every time there's a quiet song on an otherwise heavy album, have a drink. It's a drinking game.
From here on,
Yeah, why not? Because think about it. How many? You'd be like, there it is. There's the quiet song on this album's Discoveries. I have booze, but I might go get a drink after this. Um, on Dead Throne, it's Kansas. That's Dead Throne.
fuck, that's
Yeah,
such a
Dead
good song. Oh,
Throne. Yeah.
that's a
On
great album.
on Singularity, on what's the Make Them Suffer one? The second album. It's gonna kill me. Oh my god, my head go boom.
That's all right. What's the first one? Is
Old
Chronicle or something like that? No.
But it's the penultimate song on the album. Is a slow song.
Yeah.
You sort of count the first song a bit like that, but it's not. It's more.
It's
but anyway,
Carry On by Parkway.
yeah. Oh no. There. Moments in Oblivion is probably that song that on that album.
Of Horizons.
See, it's a trope, man. I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy.
Let's pick out the slow song.
All right, and then have a little pull one out for my homies. But yeah, 7 out of 10. I rate it very highly. I love it to bits. Not a 10 out of 10 the way you see it, but maybe I can see it in that way. I hope I can see it in that way.
Just give it a crack, man. Put it on.
Yeah.
Just headphones, beanie, hoodie. Shut off from everything besides that song and what you're working towards. And that's
Sweet.
honestly how I've done a lot of stuff with music. So I used to walk to work with that on too. So, but a bunch of other music. All right. Either way, let's jump to the next
Yeah. Song 6.
song.
Corruption.
Number 6.
I gave this a 6 out of 10.
So this song is called Corruption.
Yeah. So good. And I
This
gave
song
it
is
a
called
6 out of 10.
Corruption.
God, that's it. Disgusting. Yeah, I would. It even leans towards the lower end of the 6, but
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a good song. To me, it is a great song. Like, I'm not saying it's shit or anything, but it's just a weaker song on the album for me. I think it pales in comparison to pretty much everything else on the album. So I'm a bit like, oh, Corruption's on. Great. God, no, that's not even right. I'm just like,
like
oh, yeah,
dispossession for me.
away it goes. Like, yeah, it's exactly. So you get what I'm trying to say. Like, you're just like, oh, yeah, it's this song. I've heard it 1,000 times before, and it doesn't. Like, maybe the first time you hear it, you're like, ooh, cool, and then like after that, you're like, well, now I'm like, whatever. It's Corruption. It's part of the album that I love, and I do love this song. I just whatever about it.
Mm.
And I think maybe one of the criticisms, for want of a better word, I have of this song. It's not even a criticism. It's just like the song. I feel like this song's a little bit of a cliche when it comes to like heavy music because it's about like, you know, crooked politicians betray the working man, and like it's which is fine. Like, it's absolutely a worthy topic to discuss, especially in the current climate. But, you know, it's also a bit like, yeah, what else is new, punk rocker? Like,
Yeah.
you've been doing this since the 70s and earlier, and nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Maybe that says a lot about why we need to keep writing music a bit like this. But anyway, it's like, oh yeah, fight the power, brah. And that's just heavy music sometimes. So yeah, that's a great song, cool lyrics. Still, I don't think it's just cringy or anything. I just think they're a bit cliched. So it's a bit of a weaker song for me.
That's fair enough. I'd probably give the song a 7 out of 10. I think it's just a better Comatose for me. Nothing to do with the lyrics. It's just it's a bit more of a punchier song the whole way through that does it right. And where I say Comatose, it's not a bad song. It's a good song. It's just
But even this
They're
song
all
has
good
like a
songs. They're all great songs, like in
little
himself.
quiet
But
bit.
I don't know. I like the outro of Corruption. I like I like the drum work in all of their music, but I like the drum work in the song as well, which always led me to a little bit more because I'm a drummer. I
Yeah.
always heard that first. I heard the drums and the lyrics first, and then I heard the rest. Um,
Mm.
yeah, the little chimes that Nick Peterson, the drummer, plays, the little stills and spots and accents that he puts on things. I loved them from the beginning, and I mean that I could talk about that for ages in itself. But
Yeah. In a lot of albums, like the just little whoop, little accents,
yeah,
little fills.
and he's a fiend for it. He loves it. Like any dead space, he'll put a ting, ding,
It's called that.
dun
Hang
dun
on.
dun 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 dun
There's like
dun. You know,
a
like
micro
you just
semi
add those little
quaver
like ding ding
here that
ding
I got to
ding.
fill in.
Yeah, it just fills in the gaps, fills in the space, and he did a lot of that in Corruption. So I kind of like hooked to him. I was like, yeah, sick. And I'd always like every time I heard, I was like, ooh, there's another little piece that I missed last time. Ooh, there's another little piece. And now I don't think there's anything I've missed. I've heard the song that many times, but as
So you're
said,
like, okay,
yeah, oh yeah, it's a good song. But
song done.
as said, it's just a, in my opinion, it's a better Comatose. They're not about the same thing. Comatose is actually probably a bit more elaborate in lyrics, um, a little bit more in depth in lyrics, but Corruption
Yeah,
musically is
definitely.
just a bit
Compared
better
to
in
Corruption.
music. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's it.
cool. Song 7.
Song number 7.
Exposure. What do you think? Rating out of 10.
When I hear this song, I like it, but I don't remember it.
Let me remind you. Here I am.
That is the only part that I remember.
Yeah, well, fair. I mean, look, not
It's
fair enough. Like, I think the whole
freaking
song's weird,
awesome. That here I
that
am, stuck in a world
fills
that
you with
never
feelings.
really listened.
Oh.
So good,
Oh,
so good.
fucking awesome, dude. I love it.
Here I am, pouring my heart out. I am not alone. Beautiful, beautiful lyrics. Once again, back
Dude,
to those
how
cleans. His
special is
cleans
that?
are so good. His cleans were
Yeah.
so good. They were just so satisfying to listen to over metal, over heavy metal, and over um, thump. You know, that's that break and that change up that they used to do in their music. Those
Yeah.
cleans were so good. It's
So what do you
spot
rate
on.
it?
For the fact that that part is the only part of the song that I really remember. I honestly, I could hear it and I go, "Yep, cool, got it." But sitting here trying to think of the song Exposure, can't really think of how it goes besides that.
It's not. Yeah.
You know, I'm probably gonna rate it a 6 out of 10. Um, I'd
Fair
like to give it
rating, I
higher.
suppose.
I like to give it higher, but 6 out of 10 for me.
But you didn't.
But you didn't.
But you didn't.
Um, I give it a 7 out of 10. So not too far fetched from your rating.
Yeah, but you're a feels
Pretty much
boy.
because of the same reasons, like that sort of conclusion of the song with the cleans and fills me with feelings. And then I think I gained an even higher opinion of this song, like listening to it again this round. When I went through all the songs, I listened, like, read all the lyrics, and I didn't realize. Like, I think, you know, it's sort of about like when you trying to get better, like when you feel like you're suffering a bit and you're just not 100%, you're trying to get better, but it's really hard. And also trying to articulate that to people, like trying to say, I
I'm
need
going through a
help,
hard
and it's
time.
hard to ask sometimes. And even if I could ask, I don't know how to properly do it. I don't know how to put into words how I'm feeling so that you can empathize with me and help me. That's how I feel like the song's about, which I think everyone can relate to at some level. Or I can, anyway. So.
I can definitely relate to the lyrics.
And that gave me a bigger
I
appreciation
just
for it.
wish I remembered them.
But a good song still, for sure.
It is a good song. Every song on this album is,
Yeah, literally.
for what it's worth, a 10 out of 10. But we
That's
can't
true,
give
yeah.
everything a 10 out of 10, otherwise this would be a very bad review. We have to critically
That
analyze
would be
the songs,
like
because
that
if we
episode of The
don't,
Simpsons where
yeah,
Homer is a food critic and he just gives everything good ratings. And they're like, oh, Homer, I didn't realize food tasted so good.
yeah, there you go. Like, don't get me wrong, this album is straight up 10 out of 10 the whole way from start to finish. First time you ever heard it, if you like metal and you listen to this album, sorry, it'd be a 10 out of 10. First time I heard it, 10 out of 10 the whole way through. Probably the next 100 times I heard it was a 10 out of 10 the whole way through. But truth is, no song's perfect. Every song can do better. No person's perfect. Every person can do better. And
Ouch,
what do
this
we
is
always say?
philosophical.
Yeah, man.
It's subjective.
Music and people and musicians and instruments are subjective. Sounds are subjective. So if I'm here saying it's a 10, you're going to say, no, Paul, it's a 1. And you're trash. And I'm going to say, no, you're fucking trash. Shut the fuck up. Music is subjective. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't say that to you, my sweet.
You're not. That's great.
Alright, come on, let's go on to it. Metamorphosis, number 8.
Mate. Talk about... I can't remember what song
talk
I
about
alluded to before, but
intros.
I talked about Abracamente coming out hard off the rip. No.
Yep, talk about
This song
intros.
comes out hard off the rip.
Probably a 0.3 seconds of an intro until slap.
With the drums.
Yeah.
I said something else before was quintessential Northlane as well. Whatever I said, I take that back.
Slap.
This is quintessential
Straight up
Northlane.
slap. Just slap it.
Slap.
Give us that
Slap
daddy
that
504.
like-
Slap,
Yeah,
slap like,
exactly.
slap at a bass. Slap like if you like it. Slap like and
man.
subscribe. Very, very good song, Metamorphosis.
So good. I gave this
I like what it stands
an
for.
8.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8 too. No worries. Hands down, I'd give it an 8. Love what it stands for, this song.
What do you mean?
I love what it stands for. I love its lyrics. I love the term metamorphosis.
Funny you say that you love lyrics, because I actually find the lyrics to be a bit shit. Like,
Really?
maybe not shit, better than anything I could probably write, but the rest of the album is so insanely poetic, and then this song's just like really simple, I think. And I think part of the reason for that is that this was written a lot, well, I assume was written well before
Back to
any of
back
the other
to
songs
back.
on the album, because it was on their Hollow Existence EP.
Yeah, true.
And so they probably, and like, how old was Northlane when they released Discoveries? Like, they'd be in the mid-20s, I guess? Maybe early 20s?
Maybe early 20s.
We've been young men, at least.
Early 20s.
And then, like,
Actually, I'm going to assume that they
just
were in
think
their
the lyrics
like,
matured.
teens when they did the video clips.
probably when they wrote this, it bloody, I mean, I'm not disparaging it, it's a freaking awesome song, but Jesus, man, it doesn't, compared to the rest of the lyrics matured like a fine
But
wine.
That's
and this
true.
matured
That's
like
true.
a beer.
That's
that you
mature like
forgot
a beer.
about. Have you ever had an
like
off beer?
A steak on the bench.
I didn't know beers could go off, and then I had an off beer. Don't do it. It is not
Don't
good.
do it. Please, no.
Stop it.
Don't do it.
No.
I'm a virgin.
No, don't do it. I'm a virgin.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Please, no. Don't do it. I'm a virgin.
No.
Alright, I like the simplicity of the lyrics because he still executes them in the same manner. There's power. But I like it because it's not too much going on for you. You can listen to the music. And the end of Metamorphosis had me on that hook for ages.
Same as the start, I feel, about the
The
end.
start is the same, exactly right. It starts and ends so well
That's some
that it
tasty
doesn't really
bread
matter what's
on that
inside.
sandwich.
Yeah, it's
It's,
a shit
it's
sandwich.
still good. It's a nice.
It's a shit
I've had
sandwich,
a
but the
steak I
shit
got
is
in there,
replaced
but-
for chocolate, and the sandwich is replaced for Caramel.
So it's a Mars bar. That'd be the
Who
other way
puts
around,
the
though.
caramel on the outside of the mug?
Well, there's $1 million idea.
Yes. I'm getting summoned.
Song 9.
Song
Solace.
number 9. Solace.
So I'm just going to butt in here. I've checked both Spotify and a few other sources, and in some places this song is called Solace, and in some places this song is called Solitude. And I don't actually know which one's the right one. If someone knows, we want to know why this is the case, so let us know. Anyway, on with the show.
Different song.
What's the rating out of 10, Paul?
Just for the intro, I give it a 9 out of 10.
Fuck, serious?
Yeah, straight up, love the song.
Wow.
Really
Yeah,
like
I love this song.
really like this song and the one after. These are two of my tops for this album.
I'm gonna go with that.
I probably listened to these two quite a lot out of all of the album. I hit Solace, Let It Play, I Shook Hands with Death after, and smashed that. So this song's breaks, like this song's stop and start, which is what I like about this sort of music. Is it's got that chunky, like big, and then it stops, gives a moment to be like, and then it comes back, and it normally comes back in an offbeat or an off time, or it doesn't. Regular music doesn't have off timings. Northlane, Discoveries has off timings. They come in.
Spades.
They come in the moments that you don't expect them to, and it throws you off, but also is massive, like big, beefy, like deep, low bass droppy, just thumping. You know what I mean? It's just got so much movement, so much strength in it. The song's full of it, just full of it. If you listen to the rest of the album and haven't heard this song, and you like that part of the album, this song will blow your mind. It's
Well, in what
chunky.
saying that, in saying like the rest of the album, because before I had to go at you because you were saying, "Oh, I shuffle the album," and like you disgust me, because I feel like in how this album's sequenced, right? So like how they've chosen song 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and
the
so
order,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like like a lot of albums, it's like a journey, right?
Yeah, 100%,
And
man.
this, I think, really emphasizes that. It's like an underline to it, because maybe it's just because I've heard this album so many times and I know where I'm at, but like I feel like this song feels like it's telling you that your little journey is about to wrap up. It's particularly in the clean bits.
Yeah.
He's like, all the beauty, like that bit. It's sort of just being like, whoa, man, like things are starting to wrap up in a neat little package.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I have heard this album
You are.
a multitude of times from start to finish. All right, so I'm not saying that I shuffle the album and that's not okay. I'm just saying I already know the flow of the entire album from start to finish. So now I just hit the album and shuffle it to be like, oh, I know, I like this one. Oh, I like this one.
But you wouldn't do that if you still getting the album's vibes. And, like, just
Yeah, man.
hearing it
Like,
the first
no,
time
I
or the
listen to this album
70th
from
time.
start. I listen to this album from start to finish every single day for probably a year. I reckon at least like half a year every day, right? And that's what I'm saying. That's why Disposition for me is so fucking annoying. Because that
overplayed at this
song
point.
is so good, but it every day I'd hear that one without a doubt. You know what I mean? But
It's the
nah,
shape
man,
of you
it's-
of that album, of this album. It's like, oh, good, this song again.
That's right. That is true. But yeah, great song. Great song. So chunky.
Yeah, it's
Solace
good.
is
Oh, I gave it a 7 out of 10, by the way.
a 7. It's definitely worth more than that. It's worth an 8 for you.
I could push an 8.
It could push an 8. Every
I
song
could be
could.
convinced of an 8.
And here's me saying it's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Alright, you know what? An 8.
Don't fucking change your mind because someone's asked you
No,
to.
no, I have.
No,
I
stick to
have.
your guns, Owen. Stick
I
to your
feel different
guns.
today.
You wanted a 7. Be the
Nah,
7
fuck
that you
that.
wanted.
I was wrong.
No, you weren't
Music is
wrong.
subjective.
Just because
So is my opinions.
just
It's
because I'm
8.
telling you should look at it differently doesn't mean you should change the way you look. It just means you should
Literally, that may change my opinion. That's the whole point of, like, discussing this kind of shit.
stick to your guns, mate.
Good band.
Stick to your guns. Song number 10.
This is it. This is the final
the
song.
finale. I shook hands with death. This is a very, very good song.
Yeah.
This song's intro, slow progress, just smooth. And the little guitar just coming in with the little bit of build up. Oof. So good.
I think it
so
lends
good.
itself to my point about album, like the album being, like
Yeah.
the songs being put in
A
the same
full
way.
circle.
This is, you couldn't play this at any point in the album, I think, apart from the end.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
the song was built for the end
It
of
is
the
the
album.
finale song.
It is. It is. And it's not a finale song like it's the most crazy.
No,
It's not a
by any
finale
means, no.
song like it's the most heavy, and it's the finishing
It's not really
piece.
the most anything.
It's
Like,
not the most anything. It's not the heaviest. It's not the most cleans. It's not the most like musically intricate. It's just the perfect finishing song.
Yep. 100% agree. Yeah.
It's just good in every factor, and it's the perfect finishing song. I give this song a 8 to a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. I wrote an 8 here, but I'm
I'd go
not
an
an 8.
8
I'll
out
stick
of
with my
10.
8, yeah.
I'll go an 8 out of 10. Go for it.
Man, you know something cool is one of the lyrics is, will these words live to be read by the eyes of a new generation? And technically
Isn't
it's not really a new
that
generation,
ironic?
but it's 10 years later and we're harping for over an hour on this album we heard when we were teenagers.
Yeah, it's
How
pretty crazy, isn't it?
fucking good. So, yeah.
I will
Yeah.
never know.
This actual album will be 10 years old on Remembrance Day.
Wow, 10 years old.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah, this year. Yeah, so November 11th, which is also Yvette's birthday.
Yvette,
Yeah,
Yvette, as full disclosure. Yvette or Yvette or what else does BK call her?
Ivan.
Or Ivan, sorry. Or Ivan, Yvette, or Yvette is Owen's girlfriend
And it's her birthday.
on Remembrance
Same
Day.
day that it's Discovery's birthday.
It's also my dad's birthday on Remembrance Day, 11th of November.
What?
It's also Skyrim's anniversary.
What?
11111.
Skyrim, Dom, Yvette, and Discovery's?
Dots. Skyrim came out in 2011, the 11th of the 11th.
Huh.
Yes. That's when Skyrim was released.
How many times have you bought Skyrim, Paul? Be
I've bought
honest.
Skyrim 4 times.
I'm proud to say I've only bought it twice.
I bought it hard
Once
copy.
on Xbox 360 and once the enhanced edition on Xbox
Yes,
One.
yes.
And
I've
you know
bought-
what? Now that I got my PC, I'm probably going to fucking buy it on that too.
And
But I'm
get
gonna
it in
mod the shit out of
VR.
it. Oh, I'll get VR Skyrim. I actually
I've-
would want to play that.
Yeah, me too. I've bought it 4 times all up, and I don't regret any of them because I had such a
Todd
good time
Howard's
every
like,
single time.
running all
playing
the
it.
way to the bank.
So many
fuck.
times, so many times. Oh, I
Well,
Shook
many
Hands
good
with
things
Death is a
come out
very
of-
good song.
Yeah. 11, 11, 11 and Shook Hands with Death is such a good finish to such an amazing album. So, conclusive section, remarks. What is your favourite song and why?
Well, I've already told you that one. My favorite
I can't
song
remember.
is Kansas by Devil. No, I'm just kidding. My favorite song is Discoveries on the album Discoveries.
Oh, of course, right.
And yourself?
I wrote here Dispossession But after your little discussion about Solace, I'm beginning to start to think I might be my favourite.
Solace is...
Or... Nah, Solace.
Solace would be my favourite if Discoveries wasn't a song.
Okay, yeah.
Solace would 100% be my favourite song if Discoveries
But
didn't mean so much.
Might be just how I feel today, you know? But
Tomorrow.
yeah, well, that's right. Discovery has a lot more meaning to you, and that's really all it boils
Has
down
meaning,
to,
and
right?
that's why it's where it is. In fact, actually, quick side jab. When I showed Jacob before he went to a watery grave, rest in peace, my Cushino. He actually also used to listen to this song before he did any of his university exams to become a civil engineer.
Did he?
He used to listen
I
to
know
this
he
song.
liked it.
He loved this song. He used to listen.
Yeah.
It's actually, I think it's his favorite song of all time.
Really?
Yes, I think it was his favorite song of all time. No,
Because
he
he's dead.
100%. It's not even funny, but it's so bad. He used to listen to this before he went to any assessment, or what do you call them in university?
An exam.
An exam, yeah. Any of his exams, he used to listen to this song. And he became a completely qualified civil engineer. Jacob is my cousin, and he's part of HamBoys.
And he's
Was-
not dead. I
Was
just
part
want
of
to know-
HamBoys. No, he's not dead,
Not
but he
dead.
did die once. He's currently alive, but he did die at some
He
point.
drowned.
He did
Ambrose
drown.
and the cops and everyone were there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is a fucking stupid inside joke.
Very bad inside joke. Jacob actually used to listen to this for his exams, Owen.
Well, that's pretty neat.
And-
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I showed him this song one time on the train back home. I think we were staying in the city for something, maybe like a show or something, or maybe Bang, and
Yep.
I showed him Discoveries, and he was like, "That's incredible," and that's it. That was it from then.
Wow.
Loved it. So
That's so good. It's pretty good. It's sometimes when you go to someone and say, "Oh, here, listen to this. It's so good," and like you listen to it and you'd be like, "Yeah, that's really good," but the problem is you're not really hearing what that person's hearing when they're like, "You gotta listen to this song, man. It's so good." Sometimes you do, but it doesn't really happen very often. That is the exception. It's really good to hear stories like that where someone's just like, "Holy shit,
yeah,
this is music." Now that's what I call music. What's your least favorite song on the album and why?
oh, my least favorite song is Disposition, and I already went into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mine, I think I went to enough was Corruption, about how it's like a fine song. I do love Corruption, but it's just like okay, mate, we get it. You hate the big power and government and
Yeah.
stuff.
Joe Biden, trash.
Joe Biden bad. Okay. And your overall rating out of 10 of Discoveries.
Oh, come on. If we're gonna average it off, it's gonna be like an 8.
Don't even think about what you've given everything. Just when you think of Discoveries.
Oh, it's a
what
10.
do you
It's a
rate
10.
it?
Discoveries is a 10.
Yeah.
Oh,
I said it as a 9.
I'll set it as a 9. Discoveries is a 9.
Yeah.
Discoveries is a 9 out of 10. There may
Oi,
one
don't
day...
let me convince you otherwise. Like, stick to your guns, man.
Are you a bit
That's a
butthurt?
funny little callback
Oh,
on
are
that.
you a bit butthurt, are you? No,
not
I
like me.
say 9 just for the sheer fact that there may be an album out there that I haven't heard that is going to rock my world more than Discoveries did.
Enough.
Add a little point into here for that. Brandon.
So the cat.
What? Zeus is in this. Zeus! What are you doing in here?
Man, cat's all up in this.
Zeus? He looks like a
Probably
demon.
saying
Look at
this
him.
Little fun fact.
Look at him with
I think-
his little glossy
I can't
eyes.
see him. And... Oi, Zeus. Call him.
Zeus.
Oh! Holy shit.
He looks like a monster! Hang on. Be gone.
Oh, he's a lucky cat.
He said, "Take this on your adventure." What are we getting into?
You were saying something like a fun fact about BK or
Fun
something?
fact: BK actually prefers the next album after Discovery, Singularity. I think Owen, you prefer Singularity as well.
Yeah, it's a hard. It's very close, but I think Singularity is closer for me.
And out of the
Just.
three of us friends, I actually prefer Discoveries.
Because you're not like the other gamer girls.
I'm not like I am a hipster. I like Discoveries before it was cool. No, Singularity, the next album, is very good, but I actually prefer Discoveries to that. So there you go.
I wouldn't argue it either. Like, I mean, I get it, and I think for a long time I felt the same way. But then I started listening to Singularity shitloads, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I also did that, but no, I didn't feel it, to be honest. So. Anything Northlane made, I actually really like Rot as well.
Well, okay, quickly discuss that then, or should we save that for Node?
No,
For Node.
I'm not reviewing Node.
Why not?
I'm not
It's good.
reviewing
I
Node.
think we
I'm
should
not
look
going to
at-
review
it
it.
shouldn't all
I
be
want to
albums we
review.
like, you know.
I want to review songs that I like, and that's not a good song. I don't want to listen to that album. I actually don't. I'm
End
not,
of story.
I don't want to listen to that album. It's not good. It's just not good. It's
I
not
agree.
good.
It's crap, but like,
Leave it to the people. Look, if 10 people at any point out there want us to listen to Node, I'll listen to Node. But you're going to
actually,
tell us.
You know what? If we get 10,
Yeah, just 10,
inboxes
just
on
10
Instagram.
people that say listen to Node,
literally say, listen to Node and do a review, then we'll do it.
and we'll do
And
it.
that's a pretty low number, but this is also episode 1.
This
So
is
I think
episode
that's a
1.
safe call. 10 people.
I'll
You
do
also
something
fuck
I
that.
don't like for the sheer fact that if people actually enjoy this, so
People a year later, or 2 years later, or 5 freaking years later are going to be like, listening, like, oh, what's this podcast? It's about music. I like music. Put it on. They're like, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, it's pretty, yeah, okay.
well, listen
And
to
then they get the
fucking
end,
Node.
they're like,
Listen to fucking
"Oh,
Node.
Listen to Node, you nerds! Like,
Node is the
Yeah.
best album by.
but so be it. If 10 people message us on Instagram, which is at HamBoysPod,
At
that's
HamBoysPod.
HamBoyspod. We'll review Node. For better or worse, maybe I'll find something in it that I liked that I didn't the first time. I don't see that happening, but
Is
maybe
Rot
I
on
will.
Node?
Rod is on Node.
I like Rot.
And I like Obelisk. which
And
is
you
on
like
Node.
Obelisk, but I'd listen to Obelisk.
I think Obelisk is a really good song. So
I'm pretty sure I listened to Obelisk and I reckon it was worse than Dirt. So
this is
and
good. I
Dirt's
like
fucking
this already.
trash.
If there's nothing else, that will be a spicy one. But I think it's time to wrap up. So, thanks for listening.
Thanks to our sponsors, Wardy's Fitness, Alia, the Poker Night that we sometimes have. We're not sponsored by Counterculture. However, we'd like to be. They seem like they're about the good stuff. If you haven't tried it yet, try Peachy Cheeks, the beer.
Yeah, and I don't have.
This is delicious.
have,
Delicious. I know it's not a beer podcast, but this was actually quite delicious.
It's not.
6.69% alcohol, 2.6 standard drinks. Big old boy. Delicious. Quite nice. And games
And,
are good.
I recommend
Sponsored
the
by
Colonial
Skyrim.
IPA. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Todd Howard. You got us, boy.
You got me twice.
Sponsored
I don't know how
by
you did it.
Skyrim Mods.
My first playthrough on Skyrim as well, it bugged out real hard. Like, I couldn't finish the main story. And I still bought it again.
I'm pretty sure what you said was at the very end. You couldn't summon the boys to help you fight Elduin.
Yeah, I couldn't start that mission where you meant to, like, get them all, summon the boys. Like,
Summon the boys.
Ulfric Stormcloak and old mate, General Tullius, and be like, guys, please
The
stop
boys.
fighting.
Just straight up the
It's
boys.
upsetting me, and the dragons.
Yeah, you couldn't summon
Let's
the boys.
go chat with the greybeards. So thanks for listening. We're very grateful that if anyone listened.
If anyone is listening to
share
this
it.
and gotten this far, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching us on YouTube, Thank you for watching.
Yeah, that's
Um,
we're taking a punt doing it on YouTube as well, but you know, I think it's a
Yeah.
good thing. I think it's a bit of fun. You know, who cares?
we personally think people are going to
Um,
be listening to this because of the podcast, and then maybe want to see a little bit more into us and jump onto YouTube and have a look. And we'll
Yeah,
probably
it's
be
there if
putting
you
up.
want to look.
Yeah, it's there if you want to look. No pressure. But if you like
You
what
can
you're
see our
listening
cats.
to, and hey,
They get to see our cats.
yeah, that's true. If you like what you're watching and
Um,
like what you're looking at,
Recommend us too if you
yeah,
did like this. Just share us on Facebook, on Instagram, MySpace, on what else? On Pinterest,
on our
Um,
LinkedIn.
on our LinkedIn. Share us on your LinkedIn. Yeah, that's a good one. That'll get you lots of people in your connections. I think
Join
we
us
call
on
it.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, share us on OnlyFans.
Oh, we're going to start an
Um,
OnlyFans where we put up pictures of our cats.
And just be like, my ginger pussy is wet, and it's because and then it's just a video of
You
me
with the
throwing
hose.
up in the bath.
No, they're just hosing the cat
Yeah,
down.
Freddie with the hose. Oh, good boy.
All right, well, thank you very much, guys, for tuning into episode 1 of HamBoys podcast. If you like what you heard, please follow along, listen to the next episodes if they're out yet, and support us by jumping on and following us on our Instagram, HamBoysPod. You can email us and get in touch with us by email at hamboyspod@gmail.com. That is HamBoyspod@gmail.com. And lastly, we do have a YouTube channel. Jump onto our YouTube and follow us if you want to see a bit more in depth on what you're listening to, and if you want to see what's going on in our facial expressions and all the other rubbish while we're sitting here laughing at our cats.
Yeah, I was trying to think about how many visual-only jokes I've sort of gotten under the radar here that I didn't even think about.
Yeah, it's a bit
So
tricky
maybe you'll
like
find
that.
something. Maybe you'll find a little spicy nugget that you don't get just in the audio one.
That's it. Either way, follow on with us, guys, and we're excited to see you. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.